Good morning, it's morning time. Well, one of my little sisters, I think it was Jasmine, maybe Shamari, they used to go, I see me in you eyes. They were such morning people, and I am so not a morning person. But sometimes, well, not sometimes, if you want things to change, sometimes you gotta get up early or get up and do what you got to do and get out. My husband, on the other hand, he's like Mary Poppins, waking up in the morning with the birds chirping. That is just not my thing. So earlier this week I said that I was going to come on here and talk about, and I'm sorry about the sound if y'all hear it around me. Somebody out here at Walmart is really letting us have it bumping. So I said I was going to get on here and talk about unemployment, because a lot of times people have to deal with some things that are hard. And I think enough people are not sharing the realities of, listen, I went through a hard patch, but this is how I made it out. Now, I just want to make sure that you guys can hear me before I get going. So if you can hear me, if you can like press 1 or say we hear you or something like that, that'll be great. Because per usual, I'm driving and I'm not going to be really like, focusing until I stop. So back probably, I think 5 years ago now, I had a job that I worked for 3 years, or like almost 3 years, and then I had a baby, which is our youngest son. And when I was out on maternity leave and I came back, I was able to get a better paying job. So it was like making quite a bit more. So quite naturally, I'm going to try to, get this job and keep it going. So that's what I did. And when I did that job, I did it for like a week and then it fell through. So I knew I didn't want to go back to where I came from. Not that there was anything bad about it, but I just felt like that this was the time for me to push forward. And honestly, I had somebody, I call her my mentor, but she's probably like, Shannon, you just keep stalking me. And I talked to her and she said, Shannon, move on, make this the point where you press or you push beyond where you've been and you try something different. And to be honest with you, I wasn't trying to hear that because I was trying to hear what was comfortable. And what was comfortable was going back to my job, my 9 to 5, and making my money that I was making. I wasn't trying to hear nothing, okay? You know how it goes when you're struggling, or not even that you're struggling yet, but when you're unemployed, it's automatic freak out mode. I ain't got no money, I'm unemployed. Now, if you're here and you can hear me, please do me a favor and share this, because this isn't more so for me as much as it is to try to encourage other people, because I'm sure there's other people who go through these same type of things. They just not talk about it. I'm here to talk about it. So, alright, stay home, waited for unemployed. I was probably unemployed for like 2 months before I finally was like, okay, nothing's happening, let me go ahead and try to apply for unemployment. So when I applied for unemployment, I think people assume that only certain types of people are going to need help like that, or else they look at it and say, well, if you have to go to the government or the state for things, then it must be because you're trifling, or there's something that you've done, or all sorts of things that people say. So anyway, I got on unemployment, or I applied for unemployment, and I got a letter in the mail, and basically what they said is you're likely to exhaust your resources because you're likely not going to get employed. So I'm like, oh, what does this mean? What do you mean? So for like the next few months, I had to continue to go to unemployment like 2 or 3 times a week. And mind you, I could be off on the days, but I feel like it was like 2 to 3 times a week for months, because I had to participate in like a class for them to know that I was doing my due diligence while I was unemployed. So it's already bad enough that you're unemployed. You're not making the money that you used to, and then unemployment tells you, hey, it's likely that you're going to exhaust unemployment because you're probably not going to get employed, because I was overqualified. At that point, I already had my bachelor's degree and I was working on my MBA. Plus, I had like work experience, so they were telling me that I was probably likely going to exhaust my resources. So you know, when you go through stuff like that, like some people, you know, get in it and they're like defeated by it. And even though I was feeling a little bit crushed, I also understood that I needed to push through. So one day somebody came into class, there was a few of us, they was like, we all gonna start our own businesses. There was a few people in there who was like, you know, this is what we're gonna do. Because just because somebody's not picking you up, like I think it was Marlon Wayans, he was like, if somebody's not casting my movie, or if I get dropped from off of the casting call, I'm going to create my own movie. So that's the attitude I started to have. Look, if I'm not getting hired, if nobody's picking me up, if nobody's checking for me, if nobody's calling me for an interview, if I'm going to all these interviews and I'm not getting the call back, if you're not giving me a reason why you're not hiring me, then I need to create a door, a path, something for myself. So that's what I did. That's how Payton Credit Services, you know, we got to that point, right? But I wanted to add more. I wanted to add real estate. So unemployment had a program where you could get training. So I signed up for the training program with unemployment, and that's how I was able to get my real estate license. And that is why I've been able to push as hard as I have, because I understand that sometimes, or not sometimes, all the time, if you're inside of a situation that looks, you know, kind of look crappy, it is what it is. When it looks like it's bleak, you have to find the bright side. So if it's looking for a program, if it's signing up for something that you might not want to do, if it's checking in 3 times a week for unemployment, even though they told you that you're going to exhaust your resources, if it's having to start a business because somebody saw something greater in you to help you push beyond yourself and it didn't feel comfortable for you, that means you still do it anyway. I didn't want to do it, but I did it anyway. Thank God that I have the support system that I have, but I did it anyway. So one thing that I adopted at that point was like, I'm going to just do it anyway. I'm going to do it scared. So now in 2019, 5 years later, when, you know, things are different and I have different people pushing me, like there's a few people who I'm blessed to be surrounded by who encourage me in different ways and different facets of my life. When they push me and they see more in me than I see, I have to remember that and say, you know what, there's more to me to be able to help others who are in situations that are similar. So no, this morning's video is not about credit, and no, it's not about budgeting, no, it's not about housing, but I feel like people need to be encouraged and they need to know that there's more. Like, life sucks sometimes, you know what I mean? And if you're not the type of person who can see that there could be something greater on the other side, you need to hear somebody encourage you. So life sucks, yeah, but you also have the ability to pull out the greatness in it if you surround yourself with the right people. Don't want to do better and then keep the same circle and then think that it's going to get better, because that circle's going to get real small. It might be a dot. That circle's going to become a dot. It's just going to be you and maybe a select few friends. And I have lost some friends along the way, but even in losing friends along the way of becoming a better person, it helped me be better. So, you know, unemployment, it was different. You know, it was, you know, I did have to go in a few times a week. I did have to spend a lot of time on Career Builder and Monster. I think at that time might have still been okay. And, you know, trying to just network and find my way around. Good morning. And trying to find my way around. But just know that everything that you're going through is for a reason. It is for you to be able to have it so that you can get through it, so that you can take what you've been through and help somebody else. If you go through all this stuff in life and then you want to keep it in the closet, or you want to just keep it to yourself, then you're not being an encouragement to somebody else. And that's why we're here. We're here to encourage somebody else. So, you know, it's okay to be selfish sometimes, but it's also even better to share, especially if you've gotten out on the other end. Because when people are in this mess, they need to know, hey, look, I can get out on the other end. So I'm just encouraging y'all to, you know, be an encouragement to somebody. And I'm not saying, you know, yes, listen, I've been on Maryland unemployment too, and Maryland unemployment was real easy. Call in, I did my time, they send the check, you get your money, and they pay more. I mean, I'm just saying, but that's not the point. But I just, you know, just know that life gives you what it gives you. It gives you lemonade. You can make lemon cake, lemon cookies, gives you lemons. You make lemonade, lemon cake, lemon cookies. I love lemon. Put some lemon on some fish. Sprinkle some lemon on whatever you want. But it's what you make. It's not the what you go through, but how you deal with what you go through. And I'm going to tell you something else too. If you find that you are the type of person where you're like, man, I keep going through the same thing over and over and over. I want. The problem is you. I'm here to tell you, the problem is you. What has to change is your perspective. So whenever you're going through those sorts of things, the thing is not going to change. You're going to have to change the way that you're approaching the thing, and you're going to also have to change the way that you allow that thing to affect you. So that's it for today. I'm about to go in here and put these groceries up because Walmart pickup is everything. So I didn't even have to like really go grocery shopping. I did it yesterday. So I just want you guys to be encouraged. If you can, please share this so that other people can be encouraged too. If you guys are, share. Just share it. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family. And just encourage somebody today, because it's hard and everybody needs encouragement at some point in time. It don't matter what they're doing. It's not for you to say what they're doing or what they're not doing. It's for you to encourage somebody, because you never know, that encouraging word might be what they need to get to the next point of their life. All right, so I love you guys. Have a good day and enjoy it, because it's beautiful out. Thanks.